Hello everybody, welcome back to another show on the poetry of painting. It's had a week's break last week because I was away enjoying myself, and it's good to be back anyway. So my guest this week is returning to the show, a much loved visitor to this show, and it's Ritesh Nigam. So if you bear with me, let me just bring Ritesh onto the show. Hi Ritesh, how are you?
Hello, Fiona. Good evening.
Hi there. How are you doing? You keeping
Yes,
well?
I'm very well, very well. And good evening, everyone watching.
Yes, yes. Welcome everybody who's watching. And as normal, please put some questions and comments in if you'd like to ask us questions. Ritesh is here to answer questions about his poetry as well. So just do join in, be lovely. And if you're watching on replay, welcome as well. And still put comments and questions and we'll answer them in due course.
Definitely.
So yeah, that'd be great. So this week on the Poetry of Painting, as normal, my guest poet, Ritesh, has written a poem about one of my paintings. And it's actually this one up above me here, called Venice Skies. And that's from a trip that I did to Venice. I think that one was in 2019, the actual trip. So the painting itself was done from sketches and photographs once I got home, painted in the studio, because it's a little bit large, you know, for taking on planes and things, especially when it's wet oil paint. So that one was painted here. So Ritesh, you knew nothing about this painting before you chose it as one that you'd inspired you to write. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how you interpreted it and what came to your mind from it. So let me just add it to the screen. There we go. Very difficult to get a good colour rendition of this one in a photograph, I've found. I'm going to try it again with probably with my new phone, just see if that makes any difference. But this is about the best I've managed to get. And as you can see, it's slightly different sort of colour balance from the actual painting itself. But anyway, at least you can see it a little bit more close up that way. So welcome everybody who's just joined us. Great to have you on the show. Thank you. And you'll be pleased to hear that you're in time to hear Ritesh read his poem. Was there any background you wanted to give us first, Ritesh, about what came to you when you were writing for this painting?
First of all, obviously, this painting is different than your other paintings. Even in its landscape, normally yours is square,
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so what made you, paint this? Probably you wanted to basically capture the expansiveness of the sky, and that's I was looking at, and I was also wondering why it looked gloomy, because is it because of the way you have taken the photo? And I think this is a kind of a painting which you would like to see from far. And when I was on your website, I after we decided to do this, I googled Fiona Hooper Venice Skies, and I went to your website. And your website, you have this three-way of showing, how it will look in a frame, in a room. And when I saw that, then I realized that this is the kind of paintings which needs to be looked from far to understand. Am I correct?
Yes, I think so. I think most paintings are better viewed from afar, but I like a painting where you can view it from a distance and get a real feeling for it and the emotion in the painting. But also, if you do come up closer, there's other things to see as well. So that's what I try and incorporate in my paintings. But it's interesting. Some of them I think work better from a greater distance than others. And for you, as you say, this one you feel just works better from a distance more to give you that impression. So.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we kind of agreed on that. I didn't want you to say no, and let's start arguing.
Oh well, we won't argue. No, we will not argue. Definitely.
No, maybe just giving a different flavor to our audiences and say, oh, what happened? and then
Yeah.
backdrop. Do you know what happened on Fiona Hooper's talk?
They had an argument. Oh,
Oh.
no. No, we may have discussions and we may not always totally agree, but we're not going to have an argument. We'll have discussion and agree to differ if we can't agree on something. That's fine.
Perfect. So here is my poem. Again, it's in a link poetry style, which has now become something wherever I go, people ask me to, can you write just a 4-line link poetry poem for my anniversary? And I said, ooh, okay. so, and then there is a Ukrainian appeal, and they asked me to write a kind of a poem, stanza, something like that on Ukrainian appeal using a link poetry. I said, okay. So it's getting, people are getting to know about it. So which is
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, your fame is spreading.
Thank you. So let's start with the new poem, Venice Skies. And I said that, for me, when I looked at at the painting, it was more about the breadth of the painting, and I think it's not. So when I was writing, it was more about sitting in somewhere like a boat and looking everything. It's kind of a center of the Venice Channel. So let me. So let's start with it. Okay. Beautiful colors throughout the skies of yellow, red, and blue, blue of angels down from heaven. Heaven amidst the Venice true. True are the breeze above the surface of water gliding through. Through the silhouette you forever see the peace surrounding you. You can feel the depth of the skies above the deep ocean blue. Blue is what, if you ever feel the love in crimson too. Too many stories have swayed away to find someone portray their love and fortunate cries that sound like Venice skies.
Oh,
Thank you.
lovely. That's love. I love the angels bit as well.
Thank
Yes,
you.
blue at the angels. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Ritesh. That's brilliant. Will you allow me to post that in due course as well on
Yep,
Facebook?
you're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you.
Brilliant. Yeah. So did you get the inspiration for that sort of, did it all flow into you in one go, or was it something you worked on over time? Or?
I normally write impromptu, get in the mood, and it's like, I know the painting I'm doing it, so it keeps in my mind, going here there a couple of nights, and then I think that's let the subconscious mind work on that painting, and then when I sit to write, um, I think just write. Most probably sometimes I will change if the mood has been, not as I wanted. Sometimes you go into the dark tunnel. You light. This painting is never gave me any dark feeling or any gloomy thing. It was just like, the colors and probably what do you say, the tower. I don't know what tower it is because I don't exactly, but is the center uh, of the town, isn't it? Where clock tower.
Yes.
And and
No, can't think
when
of the
I
name either at the moment. Sorry.
yeah. So yeah, when I went to the Venice last time, it was, for me it was, I went I think in the same day we went to the Rome and then we went to the Venice, and
Wow.
it is kind of a mix up feeling with me that, it's all about, the moment you talk about Rome, it's all about Jesus, heavens, angels, so spiritual place for me.
Mm.
And when I was looking at Venice, I don't know how it connected to the heavens, and looking at all the colors. So um, that's how the words came. Um,
Lovely. Yeah, it's always fascinating to me to hear how other people write. Because although I'm not doing poems myself at the moment, just
why
simply
not?
because of time. It's
You
just
should.
time. It's writing. It doesn't sound a lot, writing one poem a week, but that's time that I can't spend painting if I'm writing poems. And
Mm.
I do feel that I'm still quite a novice at the old poetry game, and I love hearing all of your poems and my other guest poets' poems, and I just love hearing them and reading their other work online as well. There's some poetry groups that I'm in on Facebook, mainly as a silent observer, reading what's on there, but it's it does take time to write, as you obviously know,
Yeah.
and it's just that extra time every week. When I was doing one each week for the show, which I did 41, and the book is in progress, by the way. So the book of my poems, your poems, my other guest poets' poetry, and my paintings. So I shall keep everyone updated on that when I have some more news, which is really exciting, and be picking your brains, Ritesh, as well in due course about launching it and everything, if I may.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
so yes, I decided just to take that bit of pressure off myself just for the moment, and leave it to the experts like yourself to write the poetry for the moment. But carrying on the shows, because I've made so many lovely friends through it, like yourself and Mark and Skylar and everybody. Sorry, I don't want to name everybody and miss one person out, so stop there, because that would be very embarrassing and completely unintentional if I missed anyone out.
I know. I
And
think
it's
we got to plan a poetry and painting get together on a Zoom or something and record.
absolutely.
That
Well,
that would be
do you,
amazing.
do you know that Skylar's coming over to the UK later on this year?
Oh wow, that would be
So she's
amazing
doing a
too.
tour. So she'll be putting up information about dates and places and venues and times later on. So look out for that as well, because it'd be great if we could all meet up somewhere, or as many of us as possible could meet up somewhere and actually meet in person, which would be fantastic. So,
Definitely. Yeah, so I was in London day before uh, cycling.
oh yes,
So
another
I
of
don't know.
your favourite
Yeah,
pastimes.
yeah. So it was a Ride London. I don't know if you have heard about it. It was one of the most prestigious event where it's it's completely for people to try the bikes on, as well as pro and amateurs. So it was this time it was called Ride London Essex. So we cycled all the way to Essex and came back. Um,
Oh
so I did a 60-mile bike ride, and it was
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, especially cycling on the A roads where there are no cars.
Mm.
That was amazing to see.
So do they stop the traffic for it?
They closed the road for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
So
Yeah.
there is no traffic allowed at all, and at every junction
Brilliant.
there are volunteers
Mm.
making sure somebody doesn't come on the road. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
but an amazing experience with so many different and this time, because I think it happened after 2 years because of COVID.
Mm.
It Everyone was very excited, and it was a lovely experience.
Yeah. I remember. I didn't see it, but I remember the last one, the previous one, before COVID. And reading about all the details about where was going to be closed and everything. So I do remember it happening, even though
Yeah.
I wasn't there. But and did you have good weather for it?
Yeah, it was good weather. There were a couple of odd showers when we were in Essex countryside, which is
Mm.
bound to happen.
Yeah.
But it was, other than that, no, it was perfect weather. perfect for
Yeah.
cycling, a little bit cloudy, not too
Not
sunny,
too hot.
not
Yeah.
too hot. So
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Oh, good. Excellent. Well done. Well done. And was it as well supported as it has been in the past?
Yeah, yeah, well supported, well participated. There were people from, very different background as well this time. So they were kind of, focusing on that also, that it has enabled a lot of people in hijabs, a lot of women, a lot of cycling from, as they call people of color. So it's not because
Yeah.
normally when you say cyclists, it's more like, white British men cycling,
Mm,
so it was not like that. They were obviously
good.
there, which the kind of cycling they portray, the professionals. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Mm.
It's mesmerizing to watch the whole train going, zoom, and I'm
Yes.
and I'm cycling like and they are just passing me. So
Yeah. It's lovely when it can be so inclusive and everybody can take part and join in, which it sounds like they did, which is amazing.
yeah,
Not being put off by this, this image, as you say, of cycling where, you know, lean men in lycra with the heads down and their, long helmets for
yeah,
streamlining and going at about 80 miles an hour down the
I
road,
know.
So it's quite nice to include, people just enjoying it for
Yeah,
the sheer pleasure of actually cycling, which
I
I
think.
haven't done for quite some time. I used to cycle to
Mm.
school and back, but
Wow.
that was a little while ago. But
Next time. Yeah, they also did a free cycle event, which was around Buckingham Palace. So people of all abilities,
mm,
students, children, they just came, families, and they
yeah,
just cycle around, around London without any fear of the motor cars. And that
mm,
was also, so they called it a free cycle event, just a
yeah,
2 mile radius.
mm,
People love that as well. So
yeah. That's more
and I
my
think,
bit, I think.
yeah, and I think with the cost of living, with the environment and everything, cycle or
Mm,
biking fits right at it's like a right thing at the right time,
absolutely, yes, and
health wise,
yeah,
environment wise,
yeah,
even mental health. If you just go
mm,
out on the bike, it it changes you.
yes,
So
yes. I think exercise of any sort is good for mental health anyway, isn't it?
yeah,
But when you're out somewhere like on a bike, if unless you're one of these head down, go as fast as you can guys, you're out there, you're seeing so much, you're seeing different places, you're seeing different things, and it sort of takes you out of yourself a bit, I think, doesn't it, as well?
definitely.
Like I love going for walks in forests, and I think that does the same because you're looking at what's around you and smelling the different scents of, pine needles or, leaf litter and
Yeah,
things like that. And it's good for the soul to get out and do things and move, and yeah, it's just so lovely. And this, I know we've spoken about this before, and it's very, you're very keen on it as I am, that we need to do more to help this planet and to stop the downward spiral, because
yeah,
it's serious, and people need to start, even just small things, any small way that we can help, recycling as much as possible, not using plastic where we don't have to, you know, using a refillable water container, buying vegetables without plastic bags,
yeah.
anything like that. Just
Everything, anything and everything helps basically.
mm,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So
So
how
I'm
much we need to
sure I'm
increase.
sure your audience would like to know what happened last week. Where did you vanish?
Well, last week, I think this was about the third, possibly the fourth, but no more than that. That time that I've actually missed doing a weekly show since I started, and we're now on show 62 today. And it was all good. It was all good because we actually had a week away and we went to the Isle of Wight.
I love
It was,
White.
yeah, it was lovely. We took the car over on the ferry, and stayed in Ventnor on the southeast part of the island.
Far side.
Yeah, which was really good for our fitness, because we were at the top of Ventnor, and to get down to the coast you have to go down this rather steep street, which is fine going down. Coming back up, it did get easier the more times we did it. So I think it was good for my fitness, and walking along the coast, we walked in both directions from Ventnor, and it was just magical. The weather was good. We went to Osborne House, which was Queen Victoria's family home there, which was really interesting, fascinating, and it was
very topical. Platinum Jubilee.
Yes,
good.
Because the Queen is her great granddaughter. So, and it was a little bit dull and damp when we went there, but it dried up, and we went down to the Swiss cottage there as well, and then down to the beach, and we walked on the beach where Queen Victoria would have walked, and where she actually bathed. She had a bathing hut that they used to roll into the water, so that they didn't have to walk across the beach in their bathing outfits and things. And,
wow.
A bit of history, and it was fascinating, and just the whole island is lovely, really nice. We really enjoyed it.
It's an Isle of Wight for me also. A lot of fond memories, and I've been all around. Cycling there is my bucket list item. So now I remember I need to go, and I need to take my bike.
Yeah, and there's some challenging hills, I think. I mean, not like Ben Nevis mountains, but there's some pretty steep bits around.
Pretty steep bits, yeah. But when I went to the Ventnor first time on my second visit, and I was surprised to see such a variety, because if you stay near Rye, Shanklin and all that, it's all right. It's not very
gentle.
steep or anything, very gentle.
Yeah.
But the moment I went to the Ventnor, I said, wow, that's a change of scenery. Even the channel is a little bit, rough looking at, so those kind of things. And the change of scenery is amazing in a very tiny but very diverse place.
Yes, and to get down to it from the main A road across, have you got that zigzag road goes down to it? So just shows you how steep the actual hillside is there. And as you're going down the road, you've got the houses up on your left.
And you
then
can
you're
see
looking at roofs on your right, because the houses are that much lower. And there's one bit of road just along from where we were staying where the whole of the right side of the road had disappeared, basically. So that road was closed off while they effect repairs, make it safe again. You could still walk because the pavement on the other side and that was still okay, but it's always the danger of living somewhere on a very steep slope, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it going to stay there? But it was lovely. Took lots of photographs, took my sketchbook with me, so there might be some paintings inspired by last week in due course.
That's nice. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Ventnor's, so on the lines of Venice skies, Ventnor skies, or Ventnor coast, or
yes, and it was beautiful. It was some mix of cloud and sun some days. One day was really sunny, a bit breezy, but it was just beautiful to be there. And it's a very relaxed sort of place. The drivers on the whole seemed more polite and considerate. People in the shops and everywhere were lovely, really friendly, helpful and talkative. Not saying that people aren't here, but it seemed even more so there. It seemed like people had more time to be friendly, more time to help you, rather than fine, do this, do that. It was lovely. So we had a thoroughly good time and got back on Sunday night and straight back into normality again. But but it
Yeah.
was good. It was good to get away. So
No, I think
yeah.
it's a very good place. Quick hours, and you are just transported to a different world. So
Yes,
that's so
yes.
amazing.
Without having to fly anywhere, which at the moment I really feel so sorry for the people that have got flights booked and they've been cancelled, and even people sitting on a plane for 20 minutes and then get told that it's cancelled and have to get off again. I mean, how disappointing when you've been looking forward to a holiday for so long, because some of these people, I believe, have, had to rebook
Yeah.
several times because of COVID, and then to end up with it like that, which is another reason we went to the Isle of Wight, because we don't have to fly. It's overseas, just but without having to fly. And I'm, you know, I was so glad that we weren't flying anywhere, because I say I feel so
Yeah.
sorry for the people that have been caught up in all of this, terrible mess with queues and cancellations and everything. So
I know. It's
if
so
anybody's
many.
listening, I really feel sorry for you, and yeah,
Yeah.
hope you have
I
better
think
luck next time.
because there's so many uncertainties, and that also
Mm.
shows you that pre-COVID, how well-oiled machine the world was. You know,
Yes,
when you're talking
yes,
about the people who can serve you on the plane, the pilots who can fly, where you are going over there are staff who can take care of you. It's such,
yeah,
everything is streamlined. And the moment
yes,
you put a cog in the wheel, and that the I think most of the flights are getting canceled because of the less number of staffs, and
yes,
uh, and the recruitment side of it. So I think it's a very unsettling period, which probably will take, because I'm sure even the um, nobody probably expected that the vaccine will be so good that everything will be like, kind of back to normal in 2022. They were still wondering about, a couple of years, 2023. So I think, and lots of people are not going back to their jobs. They're just saying, well, I've worked a lot, now I want to do some
mm,
paintings, do some things.
yeah,
And that again is, I think it's a imbalance at the moment.
mm,
And anyway you
yes,
talk about people in the businesses, they say it's a big imbalance at the moment, where even the people, because ultimately everything worked with the human resources, and people
mm,
are just thinking, what is my priority? Is the work is my priority, or doing something else is my priority? And it's
yeah,
definitely is not an easy time, even though there is no cloud of COVID now on top of
mm,
us.
yes, yes. It will come back. I'm sure it will all start to, become that well-oiled machine again in due course. It's just
Yeah.
going to take time to get there because of, so many people that were made redundant. And if you'd been made redundant from that job, I'm sure you'd have some second thoughts about going back to it again. So the
Yeah.
people that they had got that were trained
Hmm.
may not want to go back because of having been made redundant. So
Yeah.
they can't recruit all of those staff overnight and have them properly trained, because obviously baggage handlers, check-in people, they need to be trained in what they've got to do, obviously. So it will take more time yet, and it's just unfortunate that we've got the bank holiday at the moment and half term and so many people wanting to get away that the
Yeah.
pressure's just causing it to sort of rather collapse at the moment. But we will get there, and
Get there. Yeah,
we will
definitely.
get through it. And I think we've all got to try, and easy for me to say because I haven't had my flights cancelled and so on, but to try to stay positive and optimistic about the future, and hopefully work towards a better future than pre-COVID past. More consideration for neighbours, more caring atmosphere, more just maybe a better world if we can. So yeah,
Yeah, I
if we
think
can
it's
manage that, it'd be really good.
I think it's a wishful thinking, but I would say, because as there are so many things happening with the cost of living, with the
Mm.
politics, I think it will take longer than it would have taken if it was just COVID, vaccine,
Yes.
and back to normalcy. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is an unsettling period, but I think it will take some time. I think
Yes.
people must have
It will.
seen from the historical graph that it takes time for it's almost like a ripple effect in the water, and
Mm.
once there is a ripple, it will take its own time to go away
Yes.
and then have uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
settled water like your painting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we'll all keep working towards it and try and stay positive and help each other. And as you say, with the cost of living and everything, the more that people look out for each other, the better. And if we all try and do our bit, then hopefully
Yep.
it'll be a better place for everybody. So
No,
yeah,
that's I think that's how artists are always hopeful, for something better. We know that
yes, yeah,
there is
better painting next time, better this, better that. Yeah. But Tej, this show has just flown past. I can't
oh
believe we've
oh yeah, I just saw the time.
yeah. So we're about out of time now. It's been fantastic having you back on the show. Thank you so much. Loved your poem. It's given me a new version of the painting to look at, as it were, as well. So thank you so much for that. And hopefully you'll come back very soon for another show.
Definitely. I always look forward. Wednesday, we know something is coming up in the evening. Even my wife also kind of mentions, tonight is the show, right? I said, yes. I'll be putting my
Excellent.
headphones. Or sometimes, I think a couple of weeks ago, we were traveling somewhere. And I was putting my headphones, watching on the mobile, and she was saying, "Oh, is it Wednesday?" So yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, well, thanks so much again. Thanks everybody for watching, and I look forward to seeing everyone again next week. So take care. Have a good week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye, Ritesh. Thank you.